Well, good morning, my friends. I'm Graham, and this is my front yard. So it is Saturday morning, and I thought I'd give you a quick little tour of what's been going on in the front yard here in my world. So, uh, the herbs are all starting to go to sleep for the season, except for the rosemary there. It's just looking amazing. And as you can see, the leaves have fallen. Nothing ever came about the celery. Just didn't happen this year. There's little branches coming off the trees, which, that tends to happen. Just let it sit there and do its thing. This is mimicking a forest floor. That's the whole concept of the Back to Eden garden. This is my apple tree. It hasn't dropped its leaves just yet, but it is. It's getting there. And if you come in and look at it, there's going to be tons and tons and tons. Look at all these little fruit spurs. They're everywhere on this tree. So this tree is going to be completely loaded next year. The strawberries are still fighting. Hopefully they get a chance. I'm going to put a screen over them in the spring, so hopefully they get a chance to grow. I might have to plant a few more. And you can barely see it, but there's the blueberry bush there. It's lost all its leaves and gone into dormancy, waiting for spring. This thing, I don't know what it is. I still think it might be some sort of lemon tree or something. We'll see. Just curious more than anything. And the lavender, it's still there. As you can see next to the lavender, those white buckets are gone. And I had a friend of ours give us a fire pit. So that's a gas fire pit with the glass rocks on top. So we're going to be trying to find a place for that here soon. I'm hoping actually right here in the yard so we can just sit and enjoy it. We'll see. And then it looks like the cabbage that's over here, I think it's just cabbage. We planted cabbage and we planted cauliflower. I think this one's cabbage. But it's just starting to look good now that it got freezing temperatures outside. And of course, big pile of leaves that came off this big tree. So, blackberry bush is looking pretty good. The other apple tree, this is the Fuji apple tree here in the yard. It's kind of hard to see, but it's lost its leaves and gone into dormancy. And so has the lilac bush. And so has the potatoes. And if you remember, I didn't pull up the potatoes. They're still in the ground. So the curiosity here is to find out if they're gonna come back on their own next year. So, and then piles and piles and piles of wood chips. But I'm gonna take you back here and show you what I've been doing. On my Sundays, I only get Sunday off from work. I've been really busy trying to get this garden thing going. So, a lot of work. So I've been emptying out the chicken coop, and what comes off the floor of the chicken coop is all this dark stuff on the ground. And it is just amazing compost. And then I started with the blue barrels, and I have enough to go all the way across. Just haven't gotten there yet. I do not have enough dirt to fill them all the way to the top though. So there's a couple of cinder blocks in there for filler. This one's got some rocks in it. But I don't have enough topsoil to fill them up, at least a foot from the top. So, but yeah, and the rose bush in the corner is gone. Those tires are not gonna stay there. They're just there for right now, out of the way. There will be some tire. There'll be one row probably of tires on the ground, and that will be for my asparagus. That's where my asparagus bed's gonna go. But they're just there for now to stay out of the way, basically. Are you noticing something? Not only is a trampoline here instead of over there, but the apple tree, I cut it down. I left a stump, but I'm gonna pull all the wood chips away from the ground and bring the chainsaw out and cut it level to the ground. And then I've got probably about 5 or 6 layers I'm gonna put of cardboard on top of it, and that'll definitely suffocate and kill it. While I was at it, I trimmed the pear tree. So it's not in its final trimming at all, but we'll work with what we got. So I have not built the gate here yet. However, if you notice the wood pile, there's still wood there, but it's a lot smaller than it was. So the wood's coming down. You can really see the chicken coop now. So that apple tree right next to the chicken coop, I'm gonna take a couple of big branches out of the top of it this year. It won't be anywhere near where I want the ending of it to be, but I'm gonna take a little at a time. So I can only take 10% of that. I think it's 10%. What do you think? Is it 10, 15%, 25%, whatever. I can only take a small amount of the tree at a time, so otherwise I get tons of suckers all over the place, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna take 2 of the tallest branch or limbs out that go straight up, and then next year I'll do the same thing, but with a couple more, until it is low enough to be a decent little tree. So, because up in those power lines, it's not a good thing. So I built a gate. I think I might have shown you this. And I built a gate, and I'm starting to build a fire pit. That's gonna be really cool when it's done. It's gonna look like a teepee. It's gonna be kind of cool. And then that spinner thing is gonna be on top of it. So it's cool. We found some plans on Pinterest of how to do it. So you take those big blocks and you put the big blocks around the base, and then they make a size a little bit smaller than that, and then you just go around and around and around. Yeah, leave one opening on one side, but eventually you get less and less at the top, and then yeah, so little teepee thing. It's gonna be kind of cool. But this is the dog run, and I have to say, it's doing very well. All the craziness is in here instead of out there. So, and you can see in front of the gate there on the ground, it's kind of dark stuff on the ground right there. I took some of the compost out of the chicken coop and put in there because it was just bare dirt. And I'm going to mow the grass really, I think I'm going to do it really low, but that all needs to be raked and stuff still. And then I'm going to put compost on top of all that. Just enough just to give it a light covering so you still see the grass coming through it, but I'll do that I think every year for a while. I'm going to do that to the front yard too. So then that way it's kind of like a fertilizer, and then through winter the snow and the rain and all that stuff will help wash the compost down into the roots, and yeah, it'll be a fantastic way to fertilize the grass. Right now it's just moss and grossness, so, and that'll eventually end up bringing the level of the grass up to those bricks, so it's not such a crazy little drop there. So all right, y'all, that is it. I hope you guys have yourselves a fantastic day. Thanks for spending the last 10 minutes with me. And until next time, bye for now.